I'm Bob Harris, president of the Decorative Concrete Institute. A very effective tool for decorative score cutting is a tool that we call the Crack-Vac. Now originally this tool was designed to go in and chase cracks in grocery stores at night when the stores were closed down. Then the unique feature about this tool is the fact that it captures the airborne dust particulate. So if you can consider working inside someone's finished home, maybe it's a basement, you can't have airborne dust flying all over the place. So this is a great tool to capture that dust. A couple of important features on this tool is you notice the front edge of this tool, it has a pointer, and certainly assuming you're using this for decorative cutting, you will have already chalked a line or a design down to your floor, and this is the pointer. Make sure that it's in fact positioned in the right fashion. Also, you'll notice this little wheel. Once again, that should line up with the pointer. Here is a very unique feature that really makes this tool kind of stand alone, and this is called a shroud, and inside of the shroud we have an impeller, which is basically a plastic fin that throws the dust into the recovery bag that you see right here. Now on the shroud, turning the tool around, the middle of this shroud is where the blade is. So it's important that you carry this edge down here when you line this up on the chalk line. Remember, the blade is the middle of this 1-inch shroud right here. So you have to line up pretty much 3 components: the back of the shroud on your chalk line, the wheel on the chalk line, and certainly the pointer on your chalk line. Here's how the tool works. You can see here is our continuous rim blade, and certainly this needs to be set at the proper depth. What is the proper depth? If you're creating just decorative cuts, somewhere around 3/16 of an inch deep, or really no more than 1/4 of an inch deep. So this is a great tool specifically for capturing the dust, the airborne dust particulate. Despite this tool being 99% dust-free, meaning it captures all the airborne dust particulate, it is a good idea to go ahead and protect your eyes regardless. So wear your proper eye protection, and we are working with a high-performance tool that can be loud, so wear your ear protection as well. Let's show you how this tool works. On the Sawtech saw, when you're getting ready to cut and you switch it to the on position, and you can see that we're plugged in and you're not getting any power, it's not uncommon for the grinder to have been turned off over here. So make sure that that's locked, and then you're ready to go. Now look over here, we always keep a little bit of extension here, and the reason for that is if I'm off cutting and all of a sudden this extension cord was to get caught, say behind a shop vac or something, it could really pull the Sawtech saw and make a wave in your line. So I like to keep some extension here for that reason. When it comes time to cut, we'll simply turn the machine on here. Once I've lined up the back of the saw, I'm now looking at the front pointer. And when we get started, I would like you to observe that we've purposely over-chalked, knowing that the pointer, when I get to the end of the cut over there, I have a guide to try to keep our lines as straight as possible. One last tip. We're working on a nice clean white canvas, so we like to use slip-on booties to keep the surface as clean as possible. It just helps for the next step, which is to clean it prior to the staining application. A couple of really important observations when using this saw. Notice how I always stop back from the ultimate termination point. So I want to stop back a 1/2 inch to 1 inch roughly, and then I'll address this edge with the 4-inch grinder. So always make sure that you stop back far enough. If you don't, an overcut unfortunately becomes a patch. Also, I notice first-time users of this saw, they don't realize that when you turn it to the off position, the blade is still spinning for as many as 10 to 15 seconds. So what you don't want to happen, and I'm simply going to show you for demonstration purposes over here, is you turn it off, and a lot of times you lose concentration, and that could spell disaster on the floor. So that's a good example. Make sure that you physically hear the blade stop spinning when you put the saw down. Remember, to get the most out of your tools, use them properly, and more importantly, use them safely. I'm Bob Harris.